One thing I've learned on my journey is how to regulate my nervous system. Because once you can regulate your own nervous system, the world outside of you has no power over you. And I kind of saw this at work today when somebody that I grew up with was growling at me. And I was kind of shocked, but I never noticed it before because I would always get so upset when they would display aggression towards me. I would go into like fawn and people pleasing. And so this morning when she growled at me, I said, "You can growl at me all you want." And it just leveled the playing field instead of me backing down from speaking my truth. And I think I had a whole lot of insight. I gained a lot of insight over the past year, being homeless and working with veterans and being a veteran myself. And just being around people who are in survival mode and being in survival mode myself. But I'm not one to growl at people. I'm not sure. Even being attacked, I don't feel the need to growl. I think that's a fear response, just like animals. I worked with shelter animals before. Animals are a little easy. People are just like animals. The animals are a little easier because it's like you can look at them and realize, that they're just in a trauma response and they're in survival mode. Like a dog that's fearful or injured, or there's a chance they bite you because they're in that survival mode. You have to be able to regulate their nervous system in some way, make them feel safe, or not make them, but give them the opportunity to feel safe. And I think people are the same way. And so I'm learning through, this is like the real test too, being at home with my parents for a couple days. And in the house that I grew up in the house that I experienced my childhood in. And I don't think they've thrown a single thing away. Like, they still have my fashion plates and my all of my board games and the books I read as a child. Like, not a thing has left that house. And maybe not even, some garbage, but there's they save, when you go to Costco and they have the two jar containers, they save the little joining thing for the 2 jars. I'm telling you, not a lot leaves that house. And that's where I got, oh my goodness, it's starting to rain. Hold on, let me show you. Oh, I don't know where to flip it. Anyway, you'll probably see me getting rained on, but it's very interesting. Very, very interesting to see where I got, to be able to see it now in my parents, where I got the beliefs that I got, and to see it in my father, how he has trouble with his mobility, but he won't even allow me to put my hand on his back to assist him getting up. I'm not even putting any force, but he can't stand to be anything less than super independent. He takes it as a threat, he really does. But last night he watched the first episode of Ted Lasso with me. I saw the series, I don't know, whenever it first came out. Maybe not when it first came out, but I saw it before when I was still married. And I watched the first episode again last night. My father watched some of it with me. And when he saw Hannah Waddingham, he saw the interview, the press interview with Ted Lasso, where Ted's kind of like he's getting annihilated. And at the end, Hannah Waddingham gets up and comes to his defense in a sense, without like emasculating him, which I think for me was good to see. That I don't know that I've always been successful at doing it that way. That's been my intention, but I don't know that I've always I know that it hasn't usually been received in that way, but that has been my intention. So I'm learning, but also I think he had never considered that it could be perceived in that way. That it could be that he could perceive that he could receive support from a woman and have it not be emasculating. Like he'd never seen that modeled before. And so, there's a fish over here splashing in the water. I'm at the lake. This is the lake I used to come to as a child. I used to take all my problems to the water. I still do. I still do. It's one of my best coping mechanisms. It's like extra grounding because, and I'm my perception of it is because we're mostly water. It's like I can just let the energy that's not serving me, just give it to the water. Just give it to the water, which is to me representative of God, right? As we are. But and their turtles are coming out now too. Anywho, I wanted to share that because it's I feel like I'm growing so much and like integrating all the lessons that I've been learning now that I'm finally like, I guess, rooted in where I grew up. It's allowed me kind of to return to my roots. So I would encourage that for all. I mean, like if you've been on your healing journey, I think this is kind of like the way to integrate it is to go back. And actually I've noticed other people doing it too. But I guess for a long time I didn't want to come back because this is where the majority of my pain was, and I didn't feel, and I was, I guess still kind of running from it and trying to, gain my sense of stability and my own identity, because they keep trying to tell me who I am, and I'm like, that's not me. That's that's the character you think I am, but that's not really me. But also to give them the opportunity and give myself the opportunity for them to, either accept or, continue to reject the truth of who I am. And I just don't think that they can even, I don't need them to see me anymore. They still see what they see, what they want to see, because people don't want to change their identity. And so parents, siblings, whoever, it's like they don't want to see you differently, because if they see you differently, then that changes how they perceive themselves. And a lot of people, that's not safe for them. They don't want to see themselves in a different, as being, I don't know, any differently than they are. But everything's perfect, so. Anywho, just wanted to come on here. Had some stuff that I've been thinking about and wanted to share. I don't know if I feel like we all kind of go through the same things, but we all have different perspectives on it. And sometimes it's very valuable to me to hear other people's perspectives. So I spend a lot of time in this like healing journey space, and you know, shifting my perspective, like, how is this perfect? How is this perfect? How is this perfect? For my growth and evolution, you know, like, it's not picture perfect always, but you know, like, somehow it also is. Anywho, love you.